We didn't send any reporters down to Caracas. That would be too dangerous. But we sent Alexa Lavoie and Efrain Monsanto down to Miami, where there's a large community of exiles, not just from Cuba, but also from Venezuela. And Alexa and Efrain are coming back today, but I asked them to put together a special video of what they've been doing. Without further ado, look at what Alexa and Efrain have been doing down in Miami. Take a look.
Hello, Ezra. Thank you for having me on your show. So far, this trip has been incredible. We actually traveled from Canada to be here on the ground because we wanted to give a voice to the Venezuelan people. I don't know if our viewers know about it, but in Doral, it is the biggest exiled Venezuelan community in the US. And on the first day, as soon as the US military did their strike in Venezuela, they all woke up around 5 a.m. to celebrate. They celebrated all day. Unfortunately, that day I was in Canada, so I arrived a little bit too late. But we were able to catch the second celebration last night, and it was just powerful. We spoke with so many people. I'll let you hear, first of all, one of the women who actually recounted her own experience with the regime in Venezuela. Listen to that. What bring you out here today?
The love for my homeland, which is Venezuela. I was born there. Unfortunately, I have to come when I was 8 because we have to flee the country because of the political issues. But yeah, the love for the homeland.
What is your experience over there and your family experience?
Well, everybody's suffering over there. There's barely anything for anyone over there. So yeah, that's just the experience that the whole country is going through right now.
So what would you say to the people, the leftist people who are taking to the street to protest in favor of Nicolas Maduro?
So none of them that are protesting outside the country are actually Venezuelans or lived through it. So they can't really speak unless they actually lived through it. So they won't know what it is to not know whether you're going to get a dinner or what are you going to eat the next day. Living off $2 a month because they don't have anything to, basing off on what your family could send you from other countries, your family working harder to send you money. So it's easy to protest from outside. It's easy to protest from your couch or what you see online, but actually living through it and know what it is, then they can't speak on it until they actually live it. Yeah.
So you probably saw some Democrats, including the new mayor of New York, Zoran Mandani, literally declare that what Trump did on Saturday morning was illegal. What do you think of that?
Again, if people don't live through it, they won't know how desperate us Venezuelans are for a change. I know they're talking about Trump only wanting the oil, but everybody's there for the oil. Russia, Iran, everybody is there for the oil already. China. So if Trump needs the oil to give us freedom, then that's a price we're willing to pay just so that we have our freedom and make a change. In 26 years, nobody has done anything for our country except for Trump. So if that's a price that he's the only one that has made an action on it, and he's the only one that has delivered his promise. So if that's the price we need to pay for it, then that's okay. Venezuela has a lot of other resources. It's not just oil. We have minerals. We have so many other things that once our country is better, then we, as Maria Corina always say, we will be an amazing country. We just need that change and somebody to help us for it.
What do you think is only Trump who did something regarding Maduro?
Well, he is a businessman, so he knows there's opportunities there. But again, that's at this moment, Venezuela is willing to provide him with the opportunity to take over the oil, make a change out of it, or make a business out of it, just so that we could have our freedom back. Again, 26 years suffering.
Then we spoke with another man, a man who actually faced persecution from the regime, the Chavez regime, because he was an IT in an oil patch. I want you to hear his experience. It's just frightening.
Actually, we were living pretty good in Venezuela many years ago. We have been here, 20 years? And we were doing good until Chavez came. And then the army, and particularly, I work for the oil industry, and they came after me. So I had to leave the country. And after a couple of years, I had to bring all my family. That's the reason. Otherwise, I didn't have any other reason to
What
come.
was the main reason why they came after
I
you?
was a manager in one of the oil industry companies. I was the IT manager. And they wanted me to allow them to listen to all of the phone conversation. And I said, no, you're not going to do that while I'm the manager. I'm not going to allow you to do that. And that, brought a lot of problem to me. And after a couple of years, I had to leave. Mm-hmm. They came after me because I didn't allow them. Yeah, they that's communists. They don't care. I told them, you're not going to listen to the conversations. The people that I know the people here. I know how honest they are. I'm not going to allow you to listen to private conversations, but to find out, it's nothing here. No, that's not going to happen. You have to come to some other way, but not through me. And that's why. I mean, they went after everybody. That's what they've been doing for the last 26 years.
What do you think only Donald Trump did something regarding Nicolas Maduro?
We all are very happy what happened. We the Venezuelans, we are very sure that Nicolas Maduro, he's a criminal. And about narcotics, everybody knows that he's the leader of the cartel de los soles. Everybody knows that. And he's been killing people for many years, young guys, young people, and taking people to jail, being innocent. He deserves, I don't know what's going to happen with him, but I deserve the worst for him. And I believe a high percentage of Venezuelan people deserve the same. They think the same that I'm telling you. I'm very sure about it.
You probably heard the Democrats, as well as the new mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani, saying that what Trump did was illegal. That was a violation of international law. What do you think of that?
He's wrong, because he's also a communist. He is. I mean, he doesn't have to be a member of a communist party. But if you listen what anything that he says, he's a communist, and he's going to be against anything that the President Trump will do. You see, of course, what Trump did is just to go after a criminal. It's not against the country. It's not against Venezuela. We are very sure about that. So that guy in New York, I hope, he's also taken away from, I don't know how he was elected, but well, that happens. In democracy, in a country like this, that happens. But he's absolutely wrong.
Mm-hmm. We also had the chance to speak with the city councilor for Doral, Mr. Rafael Pinero. He is born in Caracas, but he moved to U.S. at the age of 15 with his family. And he recounted a little bit of his experience over there, but I asked him the question about Democrats and the new mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani, about saying that what Trump did was a violation of international law. Look at his answer. Obviously, you probably saw some Democrats, including New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani, have claimed that arresting Maduro is illegal and that Venezuelans in New York disagree with Trump.
I called the president and spoke with him directly to register my opposition to this act and to make clear that it was an opposition based on being opposed to a pursuit of regime change, to the violation of federal and international law, and a desire to see that be consistent each and every day.
What do you say about that?
Shame on me. Shame on him because he's representing a city where a lot of Venezuelans reside. A lot of Venezuelans have left the country for the same reasons that my family and we left the country 26 years ago. So shame on him for making that comment. He's just starting an administration. He should know better what has been taking place in Venezuela for 26 years. So how are you not going to be in support of something that has created all this chaos and disaster across nations? How are you not going to support the fact that the U.S. have captured a person that has been involved in the killing of a lot of people, that have been involved in the kidnapping of a lot of people, that has, again, over 800 political prisoners still in Venezuela, that has been involved in a lot of criminal activities when it comes to narco traffic. And again, he's a narco terrorist. So how are you going to be in favor of the capture of someone that is not even a legit president of any nation? So I think that comments like that, we don't have to pay attention to those comments. We just have to keep working hard and making sure, again, that Venezuela once again becomes the country that they deserve to be.
You said it was a violation of federal and international law. Do you plan to use any of the city's resources to interfere with the prosecution or anything like that?
This is a federal action on a federal timeline, and I owe it to New Yorkers to deliver for them across the 5 boroughs and also to be honest and straightforward about my own thoughts on this.
I also asked him another question, and this time I asked him about our mainstream media from home. Probably some people saw or maybe not, but in Quebec, Radio-Canada, that is the French CBC outlet, literally say that Maduro was the man of the people. Listen to his answer. So, in the mainstream media in Canada, and especially in Quebec, there were headlines saying that Maduro is the man of the people, and I want to have your reaction to that.
Well, he might be the man of a few 10 or 20 people, but he's not. I mean, he's just a criminal. That's it. He's someone that from the first time he didn't deserve to be there. He just got there because of Chavez took power in 1999, and Maduro has been, just another criminal as part of that group. He has been involved in all this. He's a drug dealer. He has been involved in all these narco deals that has been taking place around nations, especially in Latin America. He's not the person that he was portraying to be. But let me tell you, there are worse people than him. The ones that steal in Venezuela, they're worse than him. Delcy Rodriguez, Diosdado Cabello, they're worse than Nicolas Maduro. So that's why we still have a lot of work to do. But Nicolas Maduro is going to pay the price of, again, killing people, kidnapping people, political prisoners, creating Venezuela, making Venezuela one of the countries, more poorest countries in the world. So how are you going to say that he's the man of the people?
Last night, we also had the chance to have an exclusive interview with the mayor of Doral. Her name is Christy Fraga. She is Cuban, but she's born in the US. So her family escaped Cuba for a better life and to escape the regime in place. We actually discussed also what would be next. Is it Cuba? Listen. First of all, when you heard about the action that Donald Trump led in Venezuela, how your community and yourself reacted to it?
I was happy about it. I mean, I come from a Cuban family. For years, we fled oppression in Cuba, and the illegitimate government of Venezuela was the one feeding Cuba. So we feel that with this change, there will be change in Cuba too, and hopefully Nicaragua. I know many may not be in agreement with what happened, but I think it was very necessary for the safety and security of even the United States. This definitely put in jeopardy the security of the United States. So things were happening in our backyard that affected Americans. And so I did not see anything wrong with it other than they needed to go in there and rip out a dictator that was, causing a lot of harm to not just the people in his own country, but allowing for terrorist cells to grow that none of these people like the United States of America, and allowing them to be in our backyard without any control, I think was a threat to our national security.
Why do you think only Trump dare to do something against Maduro?
This isn't a country that's on the other side of the world. This isn't a country like we have to travel 24 hours in an airplane. This is Venezuela. It's in our area. The Don Road Doctrine.
Well, there's been many presidents before that have said they're going to do something, and there's been many legislators that have said that they've fought against it, but no one's actually taken the action to bring down this regime. What he did brought down the regime, or is in the process of, and there will be an opportunity for the Venezuelan people to choose their rightful leader in a democratic process, and have rights restored to them that were taken away a long time ago. People lost everything. They've lost family members. There's absolutely no respect to human rights, no access to medicine, the basic needs. And so, many have said that they would negotiate, but they were all just talk. I think the action was necessary, and I'm very proud of our president for doing that, and our Secretary of State for having the political pants to go in there and do what needed to be done to protect the Western Hemisphere.
And we saw Democrats, as well as the new mayor of New York, Doral, who literally say that Trump's action was violating the international law. What do you think of that?
I think that's an ignorant statement. I think history has shown that this is not an illegal act, and there's much precedent to be able to take these actions in the name of national security. So I disagree wholeheartedly with them, and I think that those who make those statements don't have an understanding of not only our history as a nation, but also the president's executive powers to be able to make these decisions.
How do you explain the phenomenon across the Western nations where we see people taking to the street to protest not in favor of Venezuelans, but in favor of the dictator Nicolas Maduro? How do you explain that?
I mean, to me, it's shocking. I don't understand it at all. And what I would ask them is, why don't they ask themselves the question that why are the people in Venezuela out celebrating that this happened? I mean, this tells you these people were captive. They talk about a kidnapper, that the United States is kidnapping the president. No, this person who was not a legitimate president or recognized as a president had kidnapped this country many years ago. So if anything, we have the United States has liberated them and is giving them an opportunity to actually choose through a democratic process their rightful leader, and which they should have the right to do.
We still have our full report with a lot of testimony from Venezuelans themselves who fled their country not in search of job opportunity, but to save their life. So if you want, you can go to venezuelaisfree.com to watch our previous reports. And I invite everybody who is watching at the moment to go and watch. And if you agree with us, just go and chip in a couple of bucks, because it's because of you that we are able to show you the truth. Because the mainstream media and legacy media are just literally trying to portray Maduro as like a good person and Trump as the bad one. But the reality on the ground is different. Venezuelans are happy, they are celebrating, and the mainstream media don't want you to see that. So this is my whole recap of our trip. I was with Efrain Mocento, and I give him a shout out because he worked hard the whole entire time. So our report, you will see, it's really raw emotion. You will hear in Spanish and in English what the people have to say. And I hope you enjoy my small recap of our time here in Miami. What brings you out there today?
Well, definitely the happiness all of our Venezuelan people have inside and have been wanting to celebrate for all these 24 years. Definitely, I think it's something we not only have to celebrate, but thank our President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, nothing would be possible. But yeah, I'm super grateful and thankful we're all here celebrating and united.
A lot of people are saying that it is a selfish action because he wanted to have the oil. What would you say about that?
I don't think it's a selfish action. I think the United States also have oil. So I think the reason he did it is for national security. And if, like, Venezuela cannot work with, like, it would not work without the help of other countries. So I think if they want to put companies over there, he's welcome.
And we heard the Democrats as well as the new mayor of New York saying that what Trump did was actually a violation of the international laws. What do you have to say about it?
I don't think it was a violation of the international law. I think he's helping his country. And that's what a president has to do. He's representing the United States, and if Maduro is a criminal and he's doing bad things in this country, imagine having a president who doesn't defend their country. We will have a lot of people here committing crimes.
What do you have to say about the people in Western nations that are protesting in the street, not for Venezuelans, but in favor of Nicolas Maduro?
If you don't live it, you cannot say things. So if you are not in Cuba, if you're not in Venezuela, if you're not in Nicaragua, you cannot talk about something you're not living. Maybe it's okay if you want to think that way, but if you're not living what all Venezuelans and Cubans are going through every day, that people sometimes they don't have food in their fridge, don't go out to the streets. Don't do that, because that's not part of being like a good human being.